Fiji FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Fiji FM, it's so hot.
Deke me lala kai me hi. Tangi tau for me.
Fiji FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Fiji FM. Fiji FM, it's hot.
Fiji FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Fiji FM, bon julum.
Fiji FM, it's hot.
In this bulletin, Water Authority of Fiji still trying to meet water demand in Nadi and Lautoka. Sadelpa to launch party manifesto on Friday. And Fiji First Party says no coalition. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The European Union office in Suva is confident all its internal procedures can be completed in time to avoid any trade disruptions for Fiji after October 1st this year, when the EU market access regulation lapses. The EU ambassador to the Pacific, Andrew Jacobs, says the Fijian government has informed the EU about the provisional application of the interim EPA, with the explanation that the formal ratification will have to be done by the parliament in due course, in line with Fiji's new constitution. The EU now needs to process the notification internally in order to give it practical effect. Jacobs says by applying the interim EPA, Fiji will continue to benefit from duty-free, quota-free access of all its products to the EU market, most importantly sugar, but also fish and any other export item. The Water Authority of Fiji has admitted that it has to make changes to its water systems in Nadi and Lautoka so it can meet the increasing consumer demand. Speaking on FBC TV's Speak Your Mind program, Chief Executive Opetai Ravai says the authority is not able to meet the growing demand at the moment. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
The increasing population, coupled with the rise in business investments in Nadi and Lautoka, has left the Water Authority of Fiji unable to cope with the demand for clean and safe drinking water. The authority is now working on a plan to meet this demand from consumers.
The master plan that we have just produced, we are looking at some serious issues in some areas like Nadi and Lautoka. If we don't put in the investment now, we need to put it now so that we can meet the projected demand that's in front of us in the next 3 or 5 years.
Most places in Nadi and Lautoka face water problems almost on a daily basis. This has forced the authority to look for other water sources.
Negotiations are already beginning with the landowners and in certain parts of Nadi. But we need to do it now because there are a lot of other similar developments happening in Nadi. And not only that, there's a projected population growth shift from rural Nadi to urban Nadi. And also places, for example, Nawaidhomba and other areas surrounding Nawaidhomba, which were previously rural farming communities, are now wanting to connect to the Nadi system. So that's another, it's not a population growth, it's basically people who are not on our system are now wanting to connect. So the demand will effectively increase.
Ravai adds there needs to be a change in the attitude of the people when it comes to using water.
Put in this water conservation type of attitude in people as well. So, because if we can drop demand to a certain percentage, then, we can have more water to share with other people.
The Water Authority of Fiji is assuring people in Nadi and Lautoka that they are working to increasing the capacity of their water supply to enable them to provide a consistent supply of drinking water. Vosita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
Business networking between Fiji and Korea will soon be strengthened following the signing of 2 Memorandum of Understandings in Suva yesterday. The signing signifies the Fijian government's interest in developing trade relations with Korea. Akusita Tale has the details.
This marks the beginning of a new business network between the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation, and Pacific Islands Private Sector Organization.
Korea and Fiji can create win-win synergy if Fiji's remarkable growth potential is combined with Korea's accumulated experience and advanced technology.
Korea, no doubt, is a powerhouse for IT. One of the very few countries that has had an enormous investment in the IT sector, and there's obviously a lot that we can learn from you. Indeed, some of the policies that we have put in place, like the telecenters throughout Fiji, we gained a lot of the impetus from Korea regarding that.
Like any sustainable business venture, the Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation will strive for growth as the MOU aims to increase trade between the two countries.
The Federation recognizes this relationship as a valuable and essential component to business supporting business across the globe to the benefit of the economies of both countries.
This will also put in place a coordinating mechanism for private sector organizations to utilize in its planned engagement and dialogue with business interests in Korea.
It's about exploring and utilizing the opportunities to leverage on the expertise and resources available within the wider Korean Chamber and Commerce industry membership.
What is different about this is that here you have a private sector organization signing an MOU with another private sector organization with government facilitating it.
Since the two nations established diplomatic ties in 1971, Korea and Fiji have maintained friendly relations and continue to cooperate in the global arena. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party remains tight-lipped on their party manifesto, which will be launched this Friday. Akosita Tale reports the party is confident the manifesto will be appreciated as it benefits all Fijians.
Fijians of all walks of life have been assured that come Friday we'll welcome the party's manifesto.
We've basically looked at the manifesto to cover all sectors of Fiji's industry, and to refocus on growth areas and growth potentials. We've also looked at the economic viability of most of these sectors to see the sort of policies that we will need to implement to ensure that there is a quick recovery to the economy.
Sodelpa was at Nambua in Suva last night, and their meeting was attended by close to more than 100 Fijians. This has boosted the party's morale to campaign around the country.
But for us as a whole, as a party that stands for democracy, it is an assurance that people are understanding and appreciating that they have a civic national role to play, and that is to come in and vote on the day when we reach September the 17th.
Whilst the party is predominantly Itoke, they remain mindful other races are to be looked after as they have equal rights.
We are encouraging people of all races to attend our rallies. The invitation has always gone out. It's for them to take up the opportunity. You'll note that if there is any events that happens and we have even one or two or three people from other ethnicities in the crowd, our speeches are always in English.
The party's manifesto will be launched at the Suva Civic Center at 2 p.m. on Friday, along with the announcement of the remaining candidates to contest the September 17 elections. Akusita Talei, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Fiji First Party held their rally at Kalambu in Nasinu last night, where Prime Minister and party leader Vorenge Bainimarama said the party will not form a coalition. Bainimarama said the party will contest the election on its own and not form a coalition with any political party. One of the issues also raised during the rally was Fiji being a secular state. Bainimarama explained to the supporters present that Fiji being a secular state means there is freedom for all religions. Still to come on FBC News, the 3D printer. It prints almost just about anything and is now in Fiji.
Kool FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Kool FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Kool FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Kool FM in Ba.
We love listening to Kool FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottled cola, you immediately think of Kool. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Kool FM.
Kool FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The proposed Fiji United Freedom Party is confident they have met the criteria set by the Fijian Elections Office to enable them to register as a political party to contest the September elections. Proposed party president Jagat Karunaratne says they have managed to collect the signatures of 8,000 people, surpassing the required 5,000. Karunaratne says the proposed party made the submission 2 weeks ago. The proposed party's application of registration under the Political Parties Decree was earlier rejected by the Register of Political Parties after it was found that of the 5,489 signatures provided, only 3,822 were valid. 2 boys accused for the death of a New Zealand, Fijian West Auckland dairy owner will go on trial in the High Court in November. Arun Kumar, age 57, died in his Henderson dairy shop after being attacked on June 10th, and police say he appeared to have stab wounds to his neck. The 2 accused, aged 12 and 13, were charged in relation to the killing. Both are in the care of Child, Youth and Family. They're due back in court next month for a preliminary hearing. The Taviuni Hospital stands to benefit the most from the soon-to-be constructed mini hydro at Somosomo. A single generator currently provides electricity to the hospital, burning up close to 100 litres of fuel a night. Eleanor Tarangaivu has the details.
The Taviuni Hospital, located in Wayevo, looks after a population of about 9,000. It's been without a proper power supply since it started. Even the staff quarters do not have electricity.
This hydro project, it will really go a long way to improving our services, because one of the main problems we're having is power supply in Taviuni here.
The hospital currently provides a range of services from inpatient consultations to minor surgeries, scanning, x-rays and mild specialist services. Dr. Everest Nkire believes a proper power supply will boost their performance.
I think with the introduction of the hydro project, we stand to have a 24-hour power supply, and then to really greatly improve our services as well.
For the people on the island, the mini hydro has been a long time coming, following failed attempts by government after government.
We are happy because in 1987, the then government approved to build this mini hydro with the funding from the New Zealand government. But when work was about to start, the coup happened and the New Zealand withdrew their assistance.
Every week we buy diesel for our generators and kerosene for our lamps. We are very happy that very soon we will be having proper electricity supply.
Previously, when we did not have electricity, we faced a lot of problems. A lot of people left the village. But now, people won't have to go away. Our children will get good education and there will be development on the island.
The machinery and equipment for the construction of the mini hydro is still being taken to the site. It's expected construction will take at least 18 months before the people can get their supply of electricity. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Bondwell Computers Limited has brought in the country's first 3D printer. The printer was brought in from the US at a cost of $2,399. The printer uses a plastic filament that prints out items such as pen holders, toys, vases and other objects. General Manager Jitesh Kumar says the company decided to bring the 3D printer to Fiji as it is the latest in technology and they want to be at the forefront.
Architects, they can use that for making models for their clients. They can even make engineers could make a mold of a object that they want to get mass produced, but before they like to get it mass produced, they can just make a small image and then they can go ahead with mass production.
And Jamie joins you now with sports.
Good evening. In sports tonight, Sisa Koemambole shares his view on the current problems with the flying Fijian scrums, and Fiji swim team depart for Commonwealth Games. These stories and more after the break.
Ito singa ta kuno tali ta na barong na radio Fijuan na station yal mutua.
Ako na koro ko na tali ta. Mandaw tali ta kini na barong radio Fijuan.
Kitongo isu untuk tali ta na barong na radio Fijuan station yal mutua.
Keto tali ta na radio Fijuan. Na radio Fijuan ento tali ta kitalanga Sintoka.
A station in Machino Pinatia na radio Fijuan. Konkan Beyanyan.
Na Radio Fijuan nandumoi bitin bonga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Former Fiji Rugby international Sisa Koimaimbole has voiced his opinion on the current state of the Flying Fijian scrums. Koimaimbole says the problem plaguing Fiji's scrums is down to coaching. He believes Fiji will not improve unless the players are taught the basics right.
I think half of the rugby players playing in the Flying Fijian, they are from France. We need a French coach, a forward coach to coach Fiji in scrum. That is what I believe.
The second batch of Team Fiji athletes left the country today for the Commonwealth Games, which get underway in Scotland next week. Amongst them was the Fiji Swimming team, which is aiming to not only better their records, but also rake in medals against all odds. Led by renowned coach Sharon Smith, the Fijian swimmers are out to make a splash. Indra Singh has more.
All right, thank you.
Bags packed, ready to fly, bound for the Commonwealth Games waters. These Fiji swimmers were amongst those who left this morning.
They may be young, but they've done a few overseas competition. Matiliti Ndromo's been to the Olympics, and the other three swimmers trained overseas in America, so they've got a bit of exposure behind them. Every competition is always a challenge.
Amongst the team is a swimmer who created big ripples in 2002 and looking at a repeat.
Exciting, very exciting. I would say, I think it's been 12 years since my last Commonwealth Games, which was in 2002. I worked it out last night. It was pretty much around about 10 to 12 years. Very exciting, and it's awesome.
Smith is glad to have someone of Pomau's caliber in the side, which has a number of youngsters.
It's great. She's a great inspiration for the young swimmers. We call her Boom Boo, but she definitely doesn't swim like an old lady. She's great to have by my side as well, because she's also a coach. So we work together as a team, and she's really good with the swimmers.
No pressure at all. No pressure at all. These swimmers, they've done it also. They've done the hard yards. They know what it takes to go on big meets. Talking about pressure-wise, I don't think so.
While the aim is to break national records, a medal is not too far off the minds of the swimmers.
It's always tough. You never know. Caroline made the semi-finals in 2002. And that was, that was eye-opener for us as well to see her get to that level. So you never know what happens, and we're not going to say that we're not going to win anything.
The team will take part in the first of the events next Thursday. The aim is surely to shock the swimming world despite having a small contingent. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
On to the 2015 Pacific Games. Team Fiji has already started looking at off-field services to ensure its athletes get the best in Papua New Guinea. The meet will see one of the biggest Team Fiji contingents take part, and Chef de Mission Kathy Wong has been busy tying up loose ends.
One of the biggest squad that has a lot of vegetarians, and that's an issue we always have at games, is our vegetarians and our people who have religious beliefs who can't eat certain foods. So for 3 days I was actually pure vegetarian to make sure that they actually provided for my vegetarian people, and they did provide. So I don't think meal is going to be an issue.
Next year's Pacific Games will be held from July 4th to the 18th. Basketball Fiji today launched its Hoops for Health program. Basketball Fiji, in partnership with the Australian Sports Commission and FIBA Oceania, are running the Hoops for Health program to combat the threat of NCDs in the Pacific. As part of this program, Basketball Fiji has hired 15 Hoops for Health coaches from around Suva, Nandi and Lautoka to go into primary and secondary schools to teach basketball and deliver health messages.
Hoops for Health is a program which is funded by the Australian government in association with Basketball Fiji in promoting healthy lifestyles through sport. So we have developed 15 youth coaches to go throughout the schools in Suva and in the West to help them just promote that message. And this is the first time in the world that this is happening, and it's the first time this program has been launched. And Fiji is the pilot program.
That was your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
About 55 policyholders with Life Insurance Corporation of India will benefit from bonuses that will be paid out for 2013. General Manager Vimlesh Dar says LICI will be distributing a total of $7.6 million as bonuses. He says LICI has maintained the bonus rates against the backdrop of a sharp decline in the interest rates.
We are distributing 95% of our surplus as a bonus to the policyholders, and only 5% goes to the government, which is the owner of the company, because we are a 100% public sector company.
LICI pays the full year bonus to all policyholders, including those who signed up at the end of the year. Weather time now with the lovely Trish.
Why, thank you, Jackie. Taking a look at today's conditions, we have fine weather in the morning, but as the day proceeded, there were a few scattered showers in Suva and also Sabu-Sabu. The rest of the major centers, Nani, Lautoka, and Lambasa, all had fine weather throughout the day. Temperatures today, Suva on 26, Nandi and Lautoka on 27, Ba on 28, Lambasa 26, and Sabu-Sabu 28. Well, bring out your warm clothes and blankets as you can expect a chilly 16 degrees tonight if you are living in the areas of Navua, Suva, and Nausori. Tomorrow's forecast, just like today, Suva and Sabu-Sabu will have fine weather in the morning, but later in the afternoon, there just might be occasional showers. As for the other centers, fine weather galore all day. For mariners, southwest winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. Today we have a lovely photo of a woman washing clothes in a river at Masi village in Serua. I can imagine how good the water would be. Cold the water would be, actually. This one was taken by Akosita Tale of FBC News.
That's definitely a beautiful picture. Thanks so much for that, Trish. Before we leave, our top stories again tonight. Water Authority of Fiji still trying to meet water demand in Nandi and Lautoka. Sadelpa to launch party manifesto on Friday, and Fiji First Party says no coalition. Now on to our Fijian Speak segment. This is what some Fijians had to say today.
The issue that matters to me is the high cost of living.
I want the price for food come down and the petrols, gas.
Political parties should stop talking rubbish and put the living price down.
Meanwhile, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phones, text sub space FBC to 777. That's your news for tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, good evening.